Well, at least the lighting's pretty good. And if history's any indicator, the sound is pretty good in this room. So I guess if you're doing a live video, and if all else fails, if you get the lighting done right and the sound done right, you must be doing, you're at least doing two things right, right? Hello, Bert Spaghetti. Thank you for joining me. Hello, Dave Belcars. Thank you for joining me. Hello, Nana. Hello, Timothy. Hello, Guitar Man. Hello, Stephen, Daedalus, and Kevin. And hopefully a flurry of other people hop on soon. Hello, Sam, Susan, Mindy from Kansas, user, excuse me, Ann Brown. Hello, Ann Brown. It's nice to have a real name. I wonder if that's your full name, Ann Brown. Or, I don't know, I hope it is. Hello, Sherry H. and Gracie Mole and Chris D. and Chip and another user. And hello from Long Jeans, Louisiana, says Dave Belcars. And I appreciate that, Dave, having a real person from a real location. I mean, if Log Jeans, Louisiana is indeed a real location. And since I have such a slight viewership this morning, I'm going to have to be careful to not offend Dave Belcars from Log Jeans and assume that Log Jeans is indeed a city in Louisiana. And hello, Texie and Hillbilly and Kentrell and Kenneth Marks and Charisma and Jiu-Jitsu guy and Kenneth James Vincent. Hey, we're getting a few Kenneths. It might be a Kenneth special show. But good morning, good morning, good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It's this type of day. I just turned my head to drink a cup of water, this cup of water, not just a cup of water, this cup of water. Do it again, and my neck popped twice, cracked twice. I'm not getting any younger. I know that's for sure. But my name is Ken Tracy, and it is Sunday morning. It is about 5:51 a.m., and this is Coffee with Ken, and it's April 7th, I believe. Happy Sunday morning. This is a show I've been doing for a long time, a show about me talking, a show about me sharing some feelings, some anxiety, some fears, some worries, and I'll get to those because I've been feeling a heck of a lot of those this morning. It was a hard night's sleep for me. But anyway, for those that have been watching a while, hello, RJ. For those that have been watching a while, you know it's not just a show about me talking about how scared I was last night. How scared I was last night. It's also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. What would I do without coffee? My show would be much less interesting. My mug would just say Ken. Maybe, although it doesn't sound like it, as far as a marketing for my brand, as far as marketing for my brand, uh, maybe dropping the coffee with from my logo, just being Ken. Certainly somebody out there has trademarked Ken somewhere, somehow. Can you trademark your name? Wouldn't be fair. Excuse me, sir. That's my name you're using. But no, it's my name too. I've been Ken for 55 years. But anyway, for those that have been watching a while, hold on. I got an itch on my back. Oh, crick in my neck, itch on my back. Not a good night's sleep, filled with fear and worry. But speaking of filled, I have a nice filled hot cup of coffee in front of me. And I am so excited to have my first sip on this Sunday morning. My hope is that wherever you are and whatever you're doing, good morning, Sandra Lynn, that you have a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. It's funny. No matter how scary the night was and how much worry or how little sleep, something about a nice hot sip of coffee the first in the morning and hearing birds chirp out in the dark morning sky kind of seems relaxing. I don't know if you can hear that bird chirp. You probably can't. It just stopped. Maybe it knew I was talking about it. There it goes. Kind of sounds like an alarm going off. Imagine being married to that guy, waking up every morning. You'd rather be married to a rooster. You know what I'm saying? All right, well, a couple of you guys saying you can hear it. Okay, think about that. Honey, we were out partying last night. Can't we sleep in a little bit this morning? As you bury your head into the nest of twigs and leaves in the tree. And all your husband can say is, you go, holy crap. Good morning, Josh Grant and Joe. Good morning, Susan Campbell. How did the interviews go? RJ shared the live. Thank you so much for doing that. Jake joined. Mr. Fantasy Guy joined. And Josh is liking the live. Thank you so much again for joining this morning. Again, this is Coffee with Ken. And I started by saying I had a rough night's sleep last night. And good morning from South Arkansas. I don't know. I mean, nothing was greatly different than the night before in terms of my life. Again, I got a lot going on, and I think we all probably have a lot going on. And I don't know. Even when things feel like nothing, like everything's going just fine, I still find things to worry about. And this is a period where I can't honestly say it feels like everything's going just fine. Got a lot of concerns, a lot of worries, a lot of changes that are going to happen in the next couple months for sure. And couldn't really find the peace and the calm and the gratitude that I talk about so often in bed at night. And that's where it's hardest. That's where it's hardest. Yeah, that's where it's hardest is finding during the middle of the night when you can't do anything. You know, there's nobody to talk to. You're sitting alone with your thoughts. You're looking around. If you're really in a bad spot, you got that bird chirping in the back and you got no chance to fall back asleep. Yeah, and your mind can be filled with worry and your body can be filled with anxiety and you feel like you want to get up and scream and run around the block 10 times, but you might get arrested for doing that. And you wake up and you try and find some things to be grateful for and try and find some something to turn your mind into something more peaceful. And I was able to drift back off to sleep 3 or 4 different times, and am thankful for that. I think when things are at their scariest, you still got to hold on to the gratitude and still find something to be thankful for. And right now, I'll just say I'm thankful for being able to drift back off to sleep. And despite me making fun of it, I'm still thankful for the sound of the birds chirping and this sip of coffee. Somebody said, I'm drinking, Susan Campbell's drinking chia. Is it chai tea? Is it? I thought it was spelled CHAI. I don't know. Maybe it's chia, like chia pet. I don't know. Instead of coffee. Susan, we try not to discriminate here on Coffee with Ken. We allow beverages of your choice to be drinking, or drank, or whatever the word is. So welcome aboard, drinking your chai or your chia tea. I don't know. RJ wants to know if I was ever a Texas Hold'em player. I won a tournament with a bunch of buddies about 25 years ago, and I thought it was cool. I saw the movie Rounders. I loved it. Rounders is a great, great movie, by the way. And there were 20 of us playing, and we each bought in for 100 or 200 bucks. So I don't know, the winning prize was over 3 grand, and I ended up winning it, and I ended up buying a set of golf clubs with it, and always loved the game. And like they say in the movie, it's not. I mean, it's you're playing cards, you're in a casino a lot of times, but there is skill involved, and the better man usually wins. Uh, but I don't think it's a good use of my time. I think there's a chance I could learn how to play real well and learn how to make money, but I don't want to spend my life in a dark room staring at cards, hoping that I read the table right. And yeah, I know there was one period where I was on a bachelor party in Vegas, and I almost spent the whole trip glued to a poker table. And I'm embarrassed just because I wasn't much fun on the bachelor party, uh, and didn't do much. Just wasn't a good use of 36 hours of my life. Joe Larson, good morning, Ken. Hope you have a great day. Thank you so much. Kim Washburn, thank you so much for following the live creator. Ryan, good morning, Ken. Drove back to Charlotte, North Carolina from South Florida. 14 hours. That sounds like a fairly long drive. And Big Dollar Boy says, is it better to wake up with coffee or God? Well, I've already said a prayer or two, and I found I don't need to be laying in even like this or at a church or even sitting still to pray. And there was a couple times where I didn't know what to do this morning and I didn't have anybody to talk to. And I started talking to God. So I guess if I had to pick, would I wake with God or coffee? I'd pick God. But fortunately, thank you, God. God didn't make me choose. They're not mutually exclusive. Not getting to, and I'm not what I used to describe as a holy roller. I've never read the Bible. I do try and go to church as often as I can. I find it's a really good atmosphere, really good start to a Sunday, and there's really nice, kind people trying to improve themselves and looking you in the eye and smiling and holding the door open and just a lot of good feeling and love uh, uh, when I go to church. And I haven't been able to go as often as I'd like because my schedule has changed dramatically over the last year. And despite the fear that my schedule is going to change again in the next couple months, I think one of the benefits will be I'll be able to start bringing my son back to church with me on Sunday mornings, and I do look forward to that. So thank you for the question, Big Dollar Boy. So I'm going to drink a little more coffee. As I woke this morning, and speaking of it, I had two little ones, and almost three and almost 1.5. I got two big ones as well, but they're not that relevant to this story, but I love them just the same. Uh, and I heard one of them fussing around this morning, and he wasn't bawling, but I could hear him kind of whining in bed a little bit. And I figured if I was gonna lay in bed, I'd let him sit there and kind of talk in bed for a while and probably do my best to ignore it and hope he'd drift back off to sleep. And if I was going to do a coffee show, my thought was, well, I guess if I'd ignore him if I was laying in bed, I might as well go do my coffee show, shut the door, and ignore him as well. So that's the route I've taken. I am looking forward to seeing him this morning and holding him and feeding him his yogurt and getting him his banana and getting him his, start my day with him. But I kid you not, like I said, I did pray this morning, and the one, I don't know if it was an answer or all that I could come up with this morning was hopping on live. I got a text message from a buddy saying happy Sunday, and I go, gosh, I'm feeling really scared. Not sure what to do. And every time I don't know what to do, God always tells me to keep moving forward. And for me, moving forward, for a guy with a mug that says coffee with Ken, uh, moving forward means getting the coffee started, getting the lights on, sitting down on this couch, drinking some coffee, and talking about things, even if those things, I like my show to be inspirational and positive and happy and fun. But sometimes I'm worried and sometimes I'm scared and sometimes I'm frustrated or wish things would be a certain way and don't understand why they're not. Uh, and I want to hide from my show and I want to pretend that life's not this way and be just a smiley, happy face on the other end of the your phone. Uh, but I think that's the value of this for me. I did a video a couple days ago when I was real frustrated. I've been working hard on my content creation over the last 5 years, and my dream is it to help people first off, but also become a full time vocation where I talk about stuff and sobriety and mental health and worry and fear, and maybe I entertain or maybe I make people smile from time to time, or provide some companionship. I've been related. They say it, you kind of feel like Mr. Rogers, and I take that as the highest compliment. But anyway, I think there's some value in this, and would love to. I feel there's more value in this than the two big chunks of careers I've had in my life. The only purpose in those were generating commissions, and this feels like it makes a difference. So I'd like to be able to do this full time, and I've been working really hard on it, especially the last couple of years. But I've been doing it for like 5 years, and it's still far from a full time vocation. And I hate to look at it as that, or even revenue or earnings or making money, because that's never been the intent. But I'd like it to. I don't feel my gifts in life aren't necessarily what your gifts are. And I think we're all gifted in different ways, and we're all put on this planet for different things. And last year I worked at a super target for 7 months, and it taught me a lot of things, and it was a good experience. Milo, thank you for sending me the rose. It was a good experience, but uh, it's not where I should spend my days. And I think I'd be more valuable loving on my kids, or uh, engaging with people, or engaging via the phone, or doing other things than stocking shelves in a super target. So I was saying the value of the live for me. The other day I was frustrated because I've been working real hard and I'm still far away from making it in the world of content creation financially. And I couldn't be working any harder, and I was frustrated and I was anxious. And I went to Forest Preserve here in Naperville and did a live for like 10 or 15 minutes, and I felt better. And I think looking back on it as I was editing the show yesterday, I thought it was a pretty darn good show. And it wasn't just me saying how excited I am about the day, or how wonderful I don't know, the weather is, or how perfect, how beautiful the sunrise is. And I think that's the value in my show, is that I'm not, I don't know. You see Tony Robbins on TV, and he's always a guy jumping around with all this energy in the world and always a huge smile on his face. And, it's inspirational and can get you going. But I think sometimes it's good to feel realness in a person. And I don't know. Maybe my gift is being real. I guess we're all different, real. What's the show about? Sarah Roberts, you got to tune in. Somebody just tuned in and said, what's the show about? Well, the show's about me talking. That's my intro. I go, this is a show about me talking and sharing the ups and downs and sharing feelings and sharing a little bit about life. But for those that have been watching a while, it's not just a show about me sharing my feelings. It's also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. With that in mind, I got a nice hot cup of coffee in front of me, and I'm excited to have my first sip. Cheers. So I hope Sarah Roberts heard. Where else can RJ follow me? RJ, you're so sweet. Well, I'm also on Instagram and YouTube, of course. And I've been hopping back, going live on different platforms, trying to figure out what works best at 5:30 in the morning. It's the Starbucks Cinnamon Dolce, Sarah Roberts. Thank you for engaging. And it's delicious. It's not as hot as I like it because I've already been talking for about 20 minutes. And I don't know how much I have to say. And I'm tempted to go get myself a refill, but I probably got a little more to say before I sign off and get a refill and go get my son. And yeah, I went so fast I forgot. You don't forget it. You don't forget the coffee gasm. I mean, the coffee gasm's not something to remember. It's a real response to having that first sip of coffee. And I think if your mind is occupied or dealing with fear or dealing with worry, sometimes it's hard to. I talk all the time about being in the moment and appreciating that first sip of coffee and the birds chirping and the sunrise and the warmth of your bed and the air in your lungs and the smile on your children's faces. But again, I'm human as well, and sometimes my mind struggles with staying on the moment and remembering all the blessings we have. Good morning, Julie Flanagan. I thought of you this morning. I thought of you this morning. Julie's somebody that's been in and out of my show for a long time. And I've actually talked to her. I talked to some of my viewers over the years, I'll say, because it has been years. And she's always a good shoulder to cry on and offers some, again, I don't even know how old she is, but I like to think of her like a big sister and somebody I can, I don't know, again, a shoulder to cry on. Orville King, and somebody said, I'm still on. Swordfish. Swordfish is a name from the past. I am still around, Swordfish. Thank you for joining. Julie Flanagan, thank you so much for sending that rose. That's a special rose and made me smile today. And I think I could use a smile because, again, I'm sure my day is going to go on fine. But again, I had a hard time sleeping, was up several times during the night. And yeah, I just had a hard time sleeping. And again, kept waking up during the night. And again, I'm going to try and remember the blessing I had to be able to drift back off to sleep, and the blessing I have in this cup of coffee, and the blessing I have upstairs waiting for me to get out of bed and share the morning with my kids and share. I don't know, Sesame Street or a cup of yogurt or a banana or whatever, however I pass my morning with my kids. So, yeah, that's probably all I have for you today. Sorry if it was a bit of a downer. Hope it wasn't too much of a downer. But again, just trying to share some experiences and share a little bit about life. And was feeling anxious during the night, so it's hard for me to plaster on a. I'm still pretty good at smiling. Look, see, I can do it, and it's real. It's easy for me to feel joy as well, and it's easy for me to be in touch with my emotions. And again, I think I'm probably the happiest guy I know. But at the same time, I probably cry more than anybody I know. And I don't know, it's who I am. I appreciate that, RJ. I'm going to cheer for Purdue over at the tournament. I went to University of Illinois. Somebody's asking UConn or Purdue. I hate to wrap it up on a sports theme, but maybe that'll be a good way to wrap it up, and things happen for a reason. I've been cheering for Purdue. I went to U of I, so I'm a Big Ten fan, and I'm kind of interested in that Edey player, that 7'4" guy on Purdue. He's a big specimen, and hope he has a big game, and hope Purdue wins. But anyway, it's Sunday morning. I'm looking forward to filling up my coffee, going to get my son, starting my day, watching the sunrise. Feeling good today. And just because it was a rocky start doesn't mean the day is going to be rocky. We don't know what the future holds. All we can do is take one step forward. And for me, my one step is filling up my coffee and going to get my son. And keep our chin up and keep moving forward and keep a positive attitude and keep hope and faith and belief that things are going to be okay. uh, and do our best to, like they said in church last week, do not fear. And I was letting fear get the better of me last night. And I should have remembered what they kept repeating on our Easter service is to do not fear. So, one more sip of coffee. I want to thank you guys so much for joining. I appreciate you. I go live most mornings, usually around 5:30 or 6 a.m., and have a lot of fun doing this show, even on days I'm more afraid than I'd like to be. God adores and loves you. Well, thank you so much, Starlight. That's sweet of you for saying. I so appreciate that ending on that little positive note. Want to thank you all for joining. Hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Hope you got a great night's sleep. I hope you're feeling good. I hope you're loving yourself. I hope you're forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye bye.